Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a hand gesture or a pose, as in the hand is like that, but we're showing it from this angle. So if you have your pencils all set, we will start with very light strokes as usual. So we need this kind of arc. So small finger, bigger, middle finger, and the index finger will be placed here. So this is about the highest point, and this is the lowest point. This is the second lowest point when it comes to placement. So there has to be that kind of an arc going. We get the bell complete, the bell shape, and we'll have the wrist coming around here. So now it's actually quite easy. Let's put in an oval here just for as a guideline, and we go 1, 2, and we'll of course flesh out the thumb as we go along. Straight line, and we draw a sausage. We have done in other videos as well that focus on the anatomy of the hand. Sausages for fingers, so we could draw the different joints and segments more easily. But we're doing this here, so there's some foreshortening involved. So let's say that we have to show this finger at that particular angle, so it's bent and it's showing like that. Sausage again, and this finger again showing like that, and this finger shows the smallest. Just that much is fine. That's the back of the hand. There's the wrist. And we will now begin to flesh out the thumb, and we can make changes as we go along. Skin fold and thumb. And for that matter, just to keep everything consistent, we can also go with the index finger like so. Let's get some knuckles going right there. Knuckles not necessarily evident on every hand, but that is the core sketch. And if we grab ourselves another pencil, we could go ahead and put some thicker lines and give this some balance. Speaking of balance, let's put that a little straighter so that everyone can see a little better. And so we always say, maintain that every hand is unique, every hand is better. Now this is just a generic hand, as we can see, like the knuckles are not very evident on my hand here. But most hands, not the majority, but most hands will have knuckles showing, even in this kind of pose. So we can go into the little core details, such as putting in a particular type of skin fold in between the hands, in between the fingers, sorry. But it is a practice that is, of course, it requires more patience, it requires a little more planning. So right here we've got the core sketch going, and from this point onward what we can do is there's a light source coming in from above, we will just go ahead and put in some quick cross hatch. Of course, the very important finger lines have to be there in this kind of illustration. It's very, very important. So putting in some tones, putting in some shadows where we think that particular element of the hand will be away from the light source. Now usually we will take more time in setting this up if we need this to be the culmination of a project, or maybe even a refined practice to get some key anatomy done. In that case, we will of course spend more time in setting out the different details, but for now this should actually be sufficient if it's a quick sketch, just to get some core features in place. Lines for the thumb. Nail might not be visible at this angle. It might be or it might not be, but the slightest change of the angle, all these different and wonderful elements such as the nails showing from that particular angle, the tones, the lighting, the fills, everything changes with the slightest change, with the slightest displacement of a feature from one particular spot to another. So this is just about core cross hatching, just put in. And we are going with more gradient here because we are showing that this part of the hand is perhaps a little farther away from the light source than that part, and then we will of course put in some traversing shadow here as well, and it's just going to end somewhere there. And if we smudge this out, we will see in a moment that it becomes slightly more relatable. And there we have it. So quick sketch of a hand in that grasping expression, but shown from that particular angle. So please do Google some modeled hands for this, or you could style this, you could base this particular exercise on your own hand and see how it works out. Would you please do let us have your comments, your recommendations. Please subscribe, keep in touch, and have yourself a wonderful day.